Hi, this is Dan from your average Yu-Gi-Oh! Joe. We're here with our first ever deck list in a box tournament. We're here with Ryan. He had third place in this particular tournament. And instead of waiting, we'll get right to it. Ryan, if you want to tell us what you played today.
Played Shaddoll, Invoked, Dogmatika. The deck that'll never leave.
All right, well, go ahead. Show us what you got. Show us how it got you to third place.
So for the Shaddoll package, I played one Squamata, one Dragon, one Ariel, one Windy, and then one Beast, one Hedgehog, three of the fusions, and one Schism. This ratio was fine. I cut it down because I didn't want to draw the Dogmatikas or the Shaddoll stuff. And I've lost every game where I did draw into them. Never resolved Shaddoll Fusion though, and this card is just way too good. We'll probably cut the Hedgehog for second Windy, because that came up a couple times today and didn't have the extra body to put out. And then for the Invoked, three Alistair, three Meltdown, and two Invocation. As standard as you can get for any type of invoked list. It was all perfectly fine.
Alright.
Didn't hate any of it. And then for the Dogmaticas, I cut those down pretty hardcore too. One Maximus, one Ecclesia, one Fleur-de-Lis.
Why only one Ecclesia?
Because Nadir Servant can search it out from grave, and it's never came up more than the one time I ever used it.
Okay.
I'd rather just pack in more hand traps and other traps that I could be using to help win the game. And then only one punishment.
Why only one punishment?
Because punishment doesn't do as much this format. And also I like to fusion summon, and this locks me in to not fusion summoning my next turn that I use it. So
I see.
where it might set my opponent back, it would set me back too, and they can just go off on their next turn and proceed to snowball into whatever they need. And then for hand traps, I played the Gamma package. Real good. Came up every time I had it, except when I was stupid and accidentally set a card while I had this in hand, and that cost me the game. Three Droll for the Drytron matchup, which I played 3 times today. Won all of them, but the third and final one in Top Cut, I hate that matchup. It is not a fun matchup to play against. But this makes it a lot easier. And then just 2 Ash Blossoms.
Just 2? Don't you want to see it more if you run 3?
Or I could just see it just enough and play another card that I want to play.
Alright.
You know,
Fair enough.
2 was perfectly fine. It didn't come up more than what it needed to. And then for extra cards, I just ran 3 Super Poly. It was real good against Ultimateness and other Tri Brigade cards. For example, if they had like the Wind Barrier statue or any other deck that had just a lock on you. You could set a Shaddoll monster, or you could just set Alistair, activate this, and hopefully win the game from there. And then the extra traps I had were 2 Solemn Strike and 2 Ice Dragon's Prison.
All right. Besides the Wendy, would you change anything else, or was it pretty good the way it was?
As it was played, it seemed pretty fine. I ran into a lot of people. My opponents had like a lot of hand traps to help make me not play the game. But other than that, though, it was fine. There's nothing else I could really change.
Okay.
Off the top of my head. Extra deck. The 1 Almirage, 1 Secure Guard. Now, I don't play the Magistus Link. One, because I do not care about trying to play around Nibiru. Most people sided out so far. And that probably could change in like a week. But this also helps with my Maximus play to get to Schism faster and to eat up in my opponent's extra deck. So I don't have to banish my App Cologne if I send that, as long as I have the Alistair now. Then for the Invoked, I have 2 Mechaba, 1 of this guy and 1 Ragin. Yeah, I always mispronounce this, so I'm just not even going to try it. The Ragin was for the Windbearer statue lock, so I could try to play under that. Mechaba, a lot of people I've seen at least a lot of people cutting it to 1, and I do not agree with that. Like, if I can make the second Mechaba, I will always make the second Mechaba. It's just, 2 negate and banishes, it keeps the Drytrons out of grave, and is just too good to pass up. This is like another semi lock with Winda. Winda makes your opponent can only special summon once, and every time they special summon with this on field, you can destroy another card of one of their monsters, and you can also banish a fusion to help punch in for game, which almost came up, but they scooped before I could actually do that. So. And then for Shaddolls, I have 2 App Cologne, 2 Construct, 2 Winda, and everything came up. The only thing that I really missed was a 3rd Construct, and even then, that only happened once out of all the games I played today, and it really didn't matter in the end, because I probably wasn't going to win that game anyways.
Okay.
And then for punishment targets and Nadir stuff to send, 1 Omega, 1 Natis, because 1 Natis just to pop stuff. This also recycles my Shaddoll cards and anything else. Like, if they Gamma or Herald of the Orange Light my Alistair enough times, or if they find a way to keep my invocations from recycling themselves back in the deck, if I can get this engrave, I can cycle back an invocation into my deck and kind of try to help play it out. This is mainly for the grind game, and it's not once per turn, so if they try to negate it, you can just reactivate it, then use it with Gamma to go into it. It's kind of funny. And then my 1 Super Poly target, just to have it in there. My dragon. Yeah.
What did you have a side deck?
I do. For my side deck, I had 3 Lancia. Really good card. Comes up in the mirror match, comes up in the Tri Brigade. And that was all I used it for today. Three Phantasme. I decided in. I've never seen it the entire day, so I can't really give an opinion on how good it is. Dark Rule and Amours are helps break the board with ultimateness if I don't have the super polys. Or if they have a Dragoon. This is just another way to out it. 3 Solemn Judgment for going first. Helps just extra lock. And 2 Anti-Spell and 1 Imperial Order. For those go second blowout cards like Harvey Spell Duster, Lightning Storm. And also for like against like Tenkies and the Drytron spell cards that they use, like the Ritual Spell.
Okay. That's pretty good. Any shout outs, any hellos?
Nope.
Nope. All right, well, thanks, Ryan, for that in-depth analysis about your deck, and we'll hope to be seeing you again soon. Thank you.